Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope that you guys have had a great week, and we're starting out with the long walk that is Art Not Commerce, guest starring the two random guys at the end of the video who are on a night out in Maidenhead. So I can see you guys in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me tonight. Things have been crazy on the channel recently, to the point where I had to do a double check of the subscriber count because I can't remember what the last announcement was, but I thought it was 365 that we're going to be doing tonight, but it seems like we're now at 366,000 subscribers. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's maybe 3 or 4 or 5,000 or something that I lost a bit of a track of, but it has been very busy recently. So thank you guys for subscribing and making me have to change the title of this live stream while that video was playing. But yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. I can see you guys in there. We have Vera, Bev, Split Image 137, Annika Gale, Suzanne, Pamela, Ro, Bev, Julesy, Tammy, Jennifer, Terry, Bob's in there, House, Paul, Orlando, Cindy, Billy's in there as well, and some Quake, Bella, Vera's in there as well, Annika, Laura, Sings apparently, and Gail just going through as well. So hello to you guys. Right, we have, well, just the normal stuff to get through on tonight's live stream. Probably a little bit of news, and we've got a troll corner tonight, and what a troll corner it is. And I suppose this is always going to be the case that if you get a few thousand people watching, obviously the people that are subscribing aren't the trolls because they want to watch more videos. But when you get a lot of people watching a particular video or the channel in general, obviously the trolls, the number of trolls increases, which makes the live streams a little bit more interesting because we get to jump into Troll Corner and see what's going on. So we'll be doing that a little bit later on. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, as always, because they make this possible in the first place. Huge shout out to you guys. You know who you are. Without these people at the bottom of the screen, I wouldn't be live streaming. I wouldn't be making the videos. They are the foundation of everything that I do. So thank you guys so much for all of your support over there. And I was going to say that I don't usually show the Patreon site on the live streams, but here we go, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. If you guys want to join in over there, you can become a free member. If you want to just be there to see the uploads that I do, sometimes for free members, like the live streams, I always upload them over there as well, so that the catch-up crew don't miss anything if you can't watch it live. So the other thing is that tonight we're going to be aiming for a new likes record for a Saturday night live stream, and tonight that is set at 470. So if you could hit that thumbs up, it'll be massively appreciated. If we do hit that total, that huge total of 470, it means that we are then going to be having a Phil Jam at the end of this live stream, and it is Phil Jam number 133. So whatever that is, we will be jamming along to it later if we hit the target. Let's get the likeometer up on screen to see that we are currently at 235. So 235 is that? Whatever that was, that's the number that popped into my head. 235 more people are required to hit that thumbs up. If you could do that, that would be great. Right, this is the point at which I say that you don't have to donate on these live streams. You don't have to donate at all. Just tuning in is great. Maybe subscribing. Introduce yourself if you are new to the live streams in the live chat room, so we'll get to know each other and each other's usernames. And if you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group and join in with that group. And if you've got any merchandise, you can model that and I will upload it to my software here and show it on the live streams. I think we just have one picture for Picture Corner tonight, so yeah, look out for that one. But like I said, you don't have to donate. Let me just get that up on screen so that for the people that can't resist donating, they just can't stop themselves, the percentages are on screen. Between 40 and 65% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. And there's a PayPal link in the description below. So, moving on with tonight's live stream, we have the vote for the cover video that will be happening later on. That's between Miles Away and Behind Blue Eyes. And it looks like Behind Blue Eyes is in the lead with 58% of the vote so far. So, yeah, if you want to hear that, then you can just add to that vote, or you can click for Miles Away if you want to hear a little bit of Winger. My version of it, of course, it's a cover video. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. Right, there have been donations already, so thank you guys for these. And we're going to start off with the Super Chat window, because I can see in there that Paul donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 365,000 subscribers in the early morning, and just a little later, 366,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Let's have fun tonight. Spike those likes. All y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea. Hit that thumbs up as you come through the door. That would be much appreciated. But yeah, the subscriber count has got a little bit crazy. So yeah, spike those likes. Let me give a plug of the mug just while I'm talking about spiking the likes. This isn't the Spike the Likes mug, even though there is one. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then you can do. There's a tray underneath this video. And if there's not a tray underneath this video, there's a link to the spring.com store in the description below. So yeah, you can do things that way. Enjoy your favourite beverage from your favourite Wings of Pegasus mug if you happen to have more than one. Of course, you can get more than one if you want to. But back into that Super Chat window. Yeah, thank you for that, Paul. And that's reminded me we haven't had the people going crazy. And whenever I click the button, I know that there's crowd noise, or there should be some crowd noise, but it's just silence when I do it. I don't know why I don't get to hear the crowd noise, but there you go. Such is life. So anyway, yeah, 366,000 subscribers, amazing. We'll keep on pushing forward, see how we get on with it, but if I click on that, it should disappear, and so should all the people that are cheering. So I think more recently it is the Judy Garland video that has been, I say that, / Kelly Clarkson video, because yeah, I was looking at Judy's voice in a bit of detail as well as Kelly's, and just comparing how 1939 stacks up with 2024 in terms of the production and the things that are applied to the voice. This is another thing that, actually it's another two things. The first thing was that a lot of people have been requesting for me to pitch correct Judy's voice. And this is a similar thing to what happened with Freddie Mercury when I said that I wasn't going to do it because it'd be sacrilege. But then, because so many people were requesting it, I then just said at the beginning of the video, I'm doing this because it's been requested. And I think it's going to be a similar thing with Judy, that if lots of people want me to pitch correct Judy's voice, at least using the isolated vocal that I've got, then yeah, I will be able to do that in a future video, and probably compare that to a pitch corrected vocal, and in this particular case probably just Kelly Clarkson's voice, because we've still got that on file and I've still got that on my computer, so we could jump into that. So obviously it would be sacrilege, and it's, I don't know, a bit, it really shows how pointless pitch correction is nowadays, because when you're talking about a great voice, like Judy's voice is really accurate anyway, but her voice would still be pitch corrected. That's the joke of it. Like with Kelly's voice, that she's really accurate, but she's still being pitch corrected, and everyone is. And this is something I've mentioned in other videos about the music industry making it standard, just so that every singer has it applied to their voice no matter what, because it means then the singers that aren't very accurate pitch-wise sound the same as the singers that are really good singers and great at hitting pitches, because it means the record companies will make more money because they don't have to now search out talent, or the extremely talented artists for hitting pitch, because they've got a computer that will do that for somebody who doesn't have that same ability. So yeah, it just evens the playing field for everyone, which means everyone makes equal money, regardless of how accurate you may or may not be. But anyway, yeah, that video has been a very popular one. I'm not sure how many views it's had so far, but it's in the hundreds of thousands, which is great. So anyway, there was that. The second point was that because of people requesting that I pitch correct Judy's voice, I got my hands on Melodyne, which I don't use pitch correction myself on my own music, on my voice, because I learned to sing and I spent a long time trying to teach my vocal cords to be accurate with pitch. And it is a skill that you have to learn in order to do that. Obviously, not nowadays, because now you can pitch correct it. But when I was learning to sing, pitch correction wasn't a normal thing. Certainly wasn't something that was an industry standard. So I've never used pitch correcting software. But because of my videos, I thought, well, I should probably get Melodyne. And Melodyne, by the way, is just like a brand name for, I'd say, one of the most popular, if not the most popular, brands of pitch correction that you can get. Everybody uses Melodyne. So yeah, I jumped into that yesterday, only for a few minutes, and then today I watched an instructional video on it and jumped into it, and I think I'm going to have to make a video on Melodyne and just on pitch correction, because it's unbelievable. It is, well, first of all, it's unbelievable with how much you can edit. And I know that people have said in the comment section, oh, using pitch correction doesn't mean that you can take somebody who can't sing and make them sound like they're singing in tune. I would argue that it's now at the point where you can do that. You can, like, I can cover now vocally any song in the world that I want to, regardless of my vocal ability. And I know that I can do that now on Melodyne. So those songs that I know I wouldn't be able to sing, I would be able to do it, because I'd sing it, I'd not hit the note, but then it's literally a case of dragging your voice where you want it. It could be, a semitone higher, a tone higher, two tones. You could even go an octave higher if you want to. You just drag it up. So yeah, I was amazed at how the technology has advanced, but how much you can do with it. So even on this instructional video, which I might do as part of this pitch correction video and looking at Melodyne and just basically showing everybody what is going on in the industry with the movement of the voice. Yeah, on this instructional video, somebody was saying, oh, I'm just going to move this and I'm going to edit this vibrato. But the person who was doing the instructional video didn't realize that he wasn't editing vibrato because they were straight notes. He was editing the vibrations of vocal cords, which don't affect the pitch. So this is what people are doing, that even though he's doing an instructional video and was a producer and has been doing it for years, producers don't understand what they're doing to the voice, that you're not changing pitch there, you're changing a vocal cord vibration. So this is why it's going to start, sounding a lot more mechanical, because the chords are now, it sounds like the chords are making a sound and you're not actually locking into any vibrations going on. It is like listening to a keyboard. So yeah, this is another thing. So yeah, that's probably going to be a separate video to the Judy video, Judy Garland and pitch correcting her voice. But yeah, just it is mind-blowing now, the level that things have got to, and the fact that what I will be showing all of you in this video is now an industry standard. That means that it happens to everything. It's just something that is always done to a vocal. So yeah, I mean, I've worked through a bit of Judy's vocal, just pitch correcting. I mean, she's really close, as you can imagine. She's really close anyway, but you can literally just drag it exactly where you want to. And it's amazing actually, because some of the notes, you'll see that even Judy was maybe 30 or 40 cents, like sharp or flat, and there's 100 cents between one note and the next. So it shows the variation in an amazing voice, how much actually there is that you don't hear. So this is why when you start correcting all of that, I say correcting, it makes it sound worse, but once you start moving all of that, and this is what producers are doing, they're literally dragging it, and I'll be able to show you, just dragging it into the appropriate note. And it's funny because when you drag it, it kind of goes, and you can just keep on going up and up and up, or down and down and down, and it plays the note, but the voice in the note. But then when you let go of it, it then has it'll sound like the original note. Even if I'm going, it would make the octave higher just by dragging it up, even though I haven't sung it. And again, this brings into the whole equation about people saying, oh, pitch correction has been around for years and it's just something that's normal. And they're talking about analog, speeding up and slowing down tape. You could not do anywhere near this with tape, with analog systems and technology. So for people that say, oh, it's just, it's not a big deal and it's exactly the same as it has been for years, it's always been going on, that there's never been the technology to do that, to just make your voice whichever note you want, regardless of your ability to sing. You just, move it wherever. So yeah, I'll be doing a video on that in the future. I think it's a really important thing to let people know, because first of all, people didn't know that it was an industry standard, and the amount of videos that I've done looking at pitch, actually not even looking at pitch correction, but the Kelly Clarkson video, for example, looking at that and pointing out that it is pitch corrected. People don't know what they're watching and what they're listening to, that it's effectively a computer program that is replacing, and this is exactly what it's doing. And I know now because I got the software, it replaces the original vocal with the plugin. So you have to let the plugin listen to the whole vocal, because it's going to change it. And once it's changed it, that now becomes the new vocal. So the original one is replaced. So it's exactly how I describe it. Even though I haven't used Melodyne, it is exactly how I describe it. That is the process, in my analysis videos, because it is literally replacing the audio file. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting stuff. And I might mention in that video as well what I've been working on for probably the last 3 or 4 months in the background, because it all relates to the modern music industry and knowing what you're listening to. And yeah, finding a way to maybe change the music industry in the future with, something that I've been working on behind the scenes. And it's something that's probably not going to be final for another 2 or 3 months because of things that have to go through, like trademarking and all that kind of stuff, to make everything totally legitimate with what I'm going to be doing in the future, or at least this side project. So just because of the videos that I've done on the channel, and the fact that people, especially with that Eagles video that I did, where people have spent thousands of dollars on tickets not knowing that they're not going to hear a live vocal, or that Don might be miming for X amount of songs, or just one song or 2 songs, and people wanted to know, and they felt like, why isn't there something where I know what I'm buying a ticket for? So that's very much what I'm working on behind the scenes. And yeah, I'll be talking with other people and bands and artists, and probably record labels as well, who have artists that might want to be part of this fork in the road for telling the public what you're doing. Because like I said to Ryan Roxy, who I'll be doing something with in the future at some point on his podcast, In the Trenches with Ryan Roxy. But just chatting with him, he said that everything that they do with Alice Cooper, by the way, they've just toured in Australia. So everything that they do is live, 100% live, that they're not using anything to embellish the sound. They're not using auto-tune. They're not miming, all this kind of stuff. So Ryan said he's quite happy saying that they do everything so that everybody knows, and there's that transparency between the band and the sound and everyone watching it. And when they're buying a ticket, they know what they're going to be watching. So it all ties in with that. So like I said, I'll be talking with bands and artists, record labels, all that kind of stuff, to put something in place so that people will know what they are buying a ticket for, whether it is actually going to be a live show, a live vocal, or whether it's going to be something else. Because from the comments that I've got over the last few months, it does affect some people's choices. It doesn't affect everybody's choices, whether to buy a ticket or not, but it does for others. Like they would say, if I knew it wasn't going to be live vocally, then I wouldn't have bought a ticket. And I know, because I had the emails from the people saying that after that Eagles video. So but it's something that I'm going to be doing in the future, and I'll probably mention it in that video, even though it's probably got a couple of months to go through from a business perspective, setting everything up. But anyway, thank you for that, Paul. Orlando donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is spike the likes with some thumbs up. So thank you A great idea as well. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. We're aiming for 470 likes tonight, which would be a new likes record on a Saturday night. And it is 102 likes away from getting there so far. And exactly 100 more people. We're now looking forward to hit that thumbs up. So thanks to those of you who have already hit that thumbs up. If you're watching this in the future as well on catch up, every single thumbs up really does help the channel to get out there and for it to grow as well as it has been doing recently. So yeah. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and you guys in the catch-up crew. I am going to be jumping into the PayPal window because we've had some donations over there. Thank you guys for these. Edward donated £15.41. Thank you for that, Edward. And there is a message with this. It said, I missed last night, but I know why Freddie never got his teeth fixed, as I had to have work done, and now nothing sounds the same. Anyway, have a good rest of the week. So thank you for that, Edward. And that was on Wednesday morning. So this would have been after the last live stream on Tuesday. And yeah, I mean, I don't think we were talking about Freddie Mercury or teeth or anything like that. But I have mentioned this in probably, yeah, that video, but about resonance chambers. And that's basically what your head is. If you imagine, I've only just thought of this, but if you imagine your head as the body of a guitar, like an acoustic guitar, so kind of this one behind me, if I move over to the side, no, you can't even see because my chair's in the way, and I'm moving all the wrong way. Anyway, imagine that your head is an acoustic guitar and your mouth is the sound hole. Then that's how sound works. So the sound resonates in your head. So this is our guitar body, and what you'll see on acoustic guitars is that they're all pretty much the same with the dimensions and the shape. I mean, some of them have a cutaway so that you can get higher up the fretboard, but some of them don't. But the shape is quite similar because that's the shape that resonates the best and gives the nicest sound. And when people want to change the sound of a guitar, then they do start to mess around with the body of it. In acoustic guitars, I'm talking about, where you're not plugging it in. So with electric guitars, it doesn't really matter about the design because it's all about the pickups, the little things here that effectively hear the strings. They're like tiny microphones, if you can think about it in that way, and then you get the sound from the little microphones that's hearing the strings and they amplify it out of a speaker. So, or an amplifier. So when talking about, the voice, your resonance chamber is your head, and this is why everybody's voice sounds different. There are some people that are great at manipulating their sound and getting it to resonate in different places, and they imitate people's voices really accurately, but that isn't the norm. Normally, one person to the next person, their voice will sound different because they look different. So, this is it. When we're talking about sound and this message from Edward, he's saying about why Freddie never got his teeth fixed. Because I say fixed or changed or I don't know what fixed means, but maybe making them more aesthetically pleasing, or maybe, I don't know. But again, that's all subjective. So when you start changing things about your resonance chamber, so say for example you changed your teeth, or even if you had some dental work done, it's changing the angles and changing where sound bounces or where it might resonate. You might actually get a change in your voice that you think, oh, now it's resonating in a totally different place and it sounds different. So this is what Edward is saying about having to have some work done on his teeth, and then his voice sounded different. So that's all about the resonance chamber. Same thing, I suppose, if you're having surgery, or I don't know what people do, or whether I don't know what a facelift is, or whether people chisel down bones, or maybe if somebody has a nose job where they flatten it out or change it in some way, then they might notice a difference in their voice, because especially when you start making it nasal, you get the sound coming out of your nose, so it's going to resonate, it's going to sound different if your nose is now different. The sound waves are going to be hitting things at different angles. So it's all related to this body of the guitar that we've got and our sound hole, which is our mouth. So that's why we all sound a little bit different. Right, let's jump into the next donation, which came through from Cindy for £50. So thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, as of Friday, your Over the Rainbow analysis has 539,000 views in 5 days, compared to the 368,000 views for the Eagles video in nearly 4 weeks. What is going on here? Why does this happen with some videos? It seems random. Thanks. So thanks for that, Cindy. And it is entirely random. I don't know how it works. So I guess if I did know how it works, then I would release videos that got hundreds of thousands of views in like 5 days all the time. But then I definitely wouldn't be able to keep up with everything because I just do everything myself. So it's probably best that I don't have lots of videos that get that many views that quickly. But yeah, it's entirely random, as is the subscriber count. We know that sometimes it goes up really quickly and then it settles down again. So yeah, I think recently, especially over the last few days, it's been crazy. But yeah, it's something that always happens in peaks and troughs. So yeah, we're kind of on the up at the moment, but we'll level out soon, I'm sure. So thank you for that, Cindy. And Nicole's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, hello Phil, I have a question. How long to do your CD persistence since the establishment from your music to final execution? Have a good weekend. Lots of love and rock forever. So thank you for that, Nicole. And well, it depends if you're if we're saying about when I released my album to when I actually started playing the guitar, which was when I was 11 or 12, something like that. But when I released the album, when even was that? I can't even remember when that was. But I released it first of all, and it was a little bit rubbish, I think, because with production you learn as you go, and that was, it took me probably 6 to 8 months to do the album, because it's all self-produced. So yeah, it just took me a very long time to do it all. Obviously, doing the stuff in front of the microphone and then sitting down and mixing it all and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it took kind of 6 to 8 months, probably doing it every day for at least an hour or a few hours. The more time I could spend on it, the better. But I was teaching guitar at that point as well, so I was just kind of grabbing any time when I could. So yeah, from that, I don't even know. I mean, my first band, I suppose I started doing Wings of Pegasus maybe in my very late 20s. So maybe, 28 or 29. So by that time I was probably, we'd been gigging in London for a while. So it meant that I had lots of songs to choose from, and then the ones that I wanted to put on an album, and then decided. So I'd say maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 years or something, 3 or 4 years, once we had all of the songs and we were playing them. When I say we, it's because for the album, I got my drummer, James Knowles, to do the drums for me. So his drumming is a million times better than mine. So yeah, and he knew the set, we were playing it, so it meant that he could just come into the studio and get it down, as if we were just playing a set. So yeah, that was really quick, that part, just getting the drums down, but the rest of it took a much longer time, because obviously it's me jumping to do everything else. So yeah, I don't know, if we're talking about the first time I had a band, that would have been when I was 19, but that was like a covers band. And then when I was 22, I think we then started Panic Attack, which was our first band. My first kind of proper original band. And then, working through from there, what would that, I don't know, that would have been probably a few years. And then I know that we auditioned singers for, I don't know, was it 1 year or 2 years? But it eventually got to the point where I decided I was going to learn to sing. So I had to spend the time learning to sing before then doing the Wings of Pegasus thing and being able to sing live and do all that kind of stuff. So I don't know the answer to that, other than I'd say probably 3 or 4 years to get everything, to get the songs, to have the set, to then be able to play it and then record it and then maybe release the album, I don't know, like 3 to 5 years after kind of starting to gig and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we released singles, so we were still doing stuff, and this is why we're still recording, and we spent $5,000 on recording, and this is why I decided to do it myself, because we spent $5,000 on 3 songs And £5,000, I mean, £5,000 is like $7,000, something like that. So we spent that amount of money, and the result we got was not only not what we wanted, but it clipped. That means when you push the volume too much, you get pops coming out of the speakers, because it's like, it's producer 101, or producing 101 is, don't record it so loud that it's going to clip. But it did. So it means you got these crackles and pops happening all throughout the songs. So that's what you got for £5,000. So I thought, I can do better than this myself. So then I started obviously jumping into production a bit more, learning how to do that. And this is the thing about doing everything yourself. You have to learn how to do every job of everybody else. So yeah, the whole producer thing, and being a technician, setting everything up. Yeah, and having all of the problems that you might have with recording. Yeah, I learned to do all of that, so that all takes time as well. So it's not just a case of how long did it take you to do an album. It's like, how long did it take you to do everything yourself? Learn how to do everything yourself. Not only with singing, learning to sing, but learning to produce. And learning to mix. I mean, it all takes a very long time. So yeah, but I thought I could do a better job myself. And once I could do it, I wouldn't have to pay anything, because that was a hell of a lot of money for us to shell out on a product that then wasn't fit for purpose. We couldn't use it because people say, why is it all popping all the time? And say, oh yeah, because it's too loud. So anyway, thank you for that, Nicole. And we had another donation. Oh, that's just a CD order. Thank you, Richard, for ordering that CD through the website. I will get on that and send that off to you. Roseanne has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message is, hi, Phil. Would you ever consider having Justin Johnson do an episode of In at the Deep End? It would be fun to see you both jamming to some blues backing tracks. Thanks. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And it's something that I think Justin and I... We had talked about it in the past, but this was around the time of doing In at the Deep End, where Justin was somebody that was up for doing it, and that was the problem, finding people that would be able to do it. But it was just organising our schedules, because with that, it meant that actually just having a call with anybody, it's a nightmare, because I'm really busy, and of course Justin's really busy as well. So just organising schedules was the problem that we had. So but I mean, Justin is great, and maybe we'll do something in the future. Who knows? But this is another thing about playing with Taj Farrant. I was potentially planning about going over to the USA and maybe hooking up with him for a show, or maybe kind of traveling around with him for maybe a few dates. That's something that's on the back burner probably at the moment, just because it's with everything kicking off on my channel, and I mean Taj is so busy as well. Again, it's just me planning out, right, am I going to be able to keep up with everything that's going on here, everything that I'm in charge of? And like things, for example, hot off the press, Mugabe have been in touch, and that was yesterday or the day before, about a potential, meeting of minds, but a potential review on their new electric version of the acoustic version, the guitar that I've got behind me. So that's a Mugabe guitar, and it's like a practice guitar you can take anywhere. It folds up. It's amazing. You can record on it, and you can record and then play along with what you've just recorded. I've got a designated video on this Mugabe guitar behind me, but they've been in touch and have now got an electric version. So they're interested as to whether I would be interested in trying it out, maybe featuring on the channel. So again, this is the kind of thing that, because I've got this happening all the time, if I'm thinking about, getting a visa for the US and then going over there for X amount of days, how long it would take, how long the visa would take, and this would be at the beginning of June, and because time moves so quickly, we're almost into May, and then the next month is June. So I'm thinking, it's all moving too quickly for me to organise this and get flights and all that kind of stuff. So for the moment that's on the back burner. But as I said, I think in the last live stream, Taj will definitely be over in the UK at some point. And when I was talking to Brandon, Taj's dad, he was saying about maybe making 2025 the year that they come over to the UK and organise some dates for that, with which I would help out and get in touch with some promoters for Brandon and Taj. So yeah, if that happens in 2025, then it's obviously going to be a lot easier for me, because if he has a few London dates, I can just get involved there, jump up with him on stage, see what happens, and yeah, obviously that's going to be a lot more convenient because it's both of us fitting our schedules in a convenient place for not only Taj but myself. So yeah. Anyway, I thank you for that, Roseanne. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 366,000 subscribers. Do you have old, unfinished work that you revisit? If so, how do you approach integrating it into new material? Rock. So thank you for that. And not really. I mean, just earlier, I was just messing around on my guitar and I was playing a riff. I thought, oh, yeah, that's quite good. So then I grabbed my phone and then I realised that it's a new phone. So I had to find where the sound recorder was, because that's something that I usually do. Just grab the phone and record a riff that I think, oh yeah, it's quite catchy, quite good for a potential future project or whatever it may be. So yeah, I did that. And generally, I just get down little ideas. Because I'm really busy all the time, I don't really have time to sit down and think, right, I've got this riff. What could I do for a verse? What could I do for the chorus? Should I have like a pre-chorus in there? What could I do for the bridge or middle eight? And what kind of solo? It takes a long time to kind of piece that all together. And sometimes it might be different riffs that you then stick together and you think, oh, I've got a song now, because it's all different parts that then work with each other. But yeah, I don't generally have something and then put it to the side and kind of leave it there and then kind of bring it back. I tend to all do it at the same time so that it's kind of fresh, and I'm kind of in the mode of creating a song with a particular feel. Because I think, yeah, if I was to have one of the songs on the album, for example, that I'd written and it was only half done and then I went away and then tried to get back to it, maybe there wouldn't be that inspiration when you're first coming up with something. Because yeah, with Percy Johnson, that, and actually Paris Nord, that was a song that happened in about 5 minutes. It kind of, I know people say it wrote itself, but it did. It just, it flows into one bit and then you think, oh, what would the middle eight be? And then, it just kind of all followed on. So yeah, it sometimes is like that inspiration strikes and just kind of get down a whole song very quickly. But thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on 366,000 subscribers. Love the Mahalia Jackson and Percy Sledge analysis videos this week. You look like you were really having fun. You're amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And yeah, a little bit of a blast from the past, a little bit more recently, looking at just voices without any kind of pitch correction, auto-tune, anything like that. And this is the other thing that, with all of the analysis videos, when we're looking at vocals, we do look at guitar, and sometimes I bust out the Strat or the Strat or the Maton or the Gem, even if it's a heavier genre. But yeah, with all of the analysis videos for vocals, we break down the vocals in the same way. So I know that some people who maybe don't watch the channel just see the pitch monitoring software and think it's going to be another auto-tune pitch correction video. And I said that thing, or that comment that where the person was saying about, oh, he does 3 or 4 pitch correction rants a week in his videos. But they don't watch my videos, so they think just from the thumbnail, because it's got the pitch monitoring software on there, they think that that's all I'm doing. But no, I'm just analysing what I'm looking at. Of course, if it's pitch corrected or auto-tuned, I'm going to point that out because it's an analysis. So yeah, I feel like these things that I'm mentioning is reminding me of comments that we will be addressing in Troll Corner. So we will be jumping into there very soon. But Rebecca has donated £5 as well. So thank you for that, Rebecca. The message is, I'm sending you this donation not to pitch correct Judy Garland's voice, as it would be sacrilege indeed. As someone planning to record this year, I am so concerned that someone might do such a thing to my voice. I'm not Judy, but I don't want to be pitch corrected. So thank you for that. And if you're just recording it, and you have control of the recording, you own the publishing on it, all that kind of stuff, then you can say to the producer that I don't want any manipulation from pitch correction or auto-tune. You can even say Melodyne if you can remember that, or write it down, because that's the most used plugin currently in the current music industry. So yeah, I think it's either Antares. I've heard people say it a different way, like Antares or Antares. It's Antares, which is an auto-tune plugin. So that's also used, but you can just say, I don't want any pitch correction or auto-tune on my voice. I just want it to be my natural voice. A producer, if you're paying them to do the job, then they have to do that. So yeah, don't worry too much about it. If you just state what you want, that'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, as for doing the pitch correction, I'm not going to be pitch correcting Judy's voice and then releasing it as some kind of alternate version. It's just going to be for, I've had a lot of people requesting it. It's just going to be for, all of those requests, so people can just see what it looks like on screen. It's not going to be, so don't panic, it's not going to be released as an alternate version. I'm not going to, for example, let it play all the way through so that people could take that and then use it as another version. I'm going to be very clear that this is just a technical exercise. It's not me actually releasing a different version of it. And just saying that, I'm just hoping that they don't in the future. But that's something that, like with the Freddie Mercury one that they released on Queen's official channel, you can't do anything about it. If the record label want to pitch correct somebody's voice and release it on their YouTube channel, you can't do anything about it. You just have to accept it, sadly. But thank you, Vera, as well, who has donated £3.83. So thank you for that. And this message, the message is, "Hi Phil, I've been wondering why singers often sing with their eyes closed. Are they lost in the lyrics or just feeling the emotion? You close eyes also in your vocals. Hoping you will tell me why. You know me, I'm always wondering. Hugs, Vera Lynn." So thank you for that. And it's different for different people, but I'd say the main reason is, well, probably one of two things. If you're talking about performing, there are some singers who aren't particularly confident when they're singing, and they close their eyes in order to kind of put that barrier between them and the audience, so they can just not have to worry about making eye contact with people and all that kind of stuff. Obviously it depends what you're like as a performer. I would say that if I'm performing in front of people, then I tend to keep my eyes open, but I guess it chops and changes. I don't know what I do. But I think another thing is closing your eyes, if you're not doing it for that reason, would be like mental imagery, like imagining your vocal cords, because this is something that people do all the time, especially during vocal exercises, when they're going things like, and I know that I do this, when I go, nah, that kind of thing. Like I went, ah, and it's something that you're feeling your vocal cords, but you're mentally imagining that connection, ah, and for some reason it's there, and it's got to be something to do with muscle memory and having some kind of reference point that you use visually, or you're imagining. So if I'm closing my eyes and I'm doing the same thing, that's what you're imagining. You're kind of placing you're placing that note in a point of resonance or somewhere in this space, and it just happens to be kind of there, where you point it out. But it's something that when you're looking at great singers who do really complicated runs, like sometimes you'll see Mariah Carey, when she's going hoo, 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 and she's doing that with her finger, and it's almost like she's picking out the pitches in a vertical form, going hoo, 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 and pointing them out as she goes. So you can start to look at the body language and the things that great singers do, because you'll start to notice this, that their hands are almost drawing out the notes, and it's how they attribute the pitches to something that they can now imagine, because obviously we can't see our vocal cords, and even if we could, it wouldn't really help us with hitting the notes, because it's not like a keyboard. So all of these mental imagery things that happen, that's something that especially when hitting high notes, I think Mariah sometimes does that when she gets it into her whistle register, for example, and she's kind of way up there. She's kind of doing this with her hand, really kind of up high and closing her eyes and doing all that kind of stuff, just to help with getting that vocal cord configuration in exactly the right way, in the right place. But sometimes that visual representation makes it happen because you do the same thing every time. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, lots of hand motions. You can look out for those ones. I don't think I tend to do too much of that because I'm playing a guitar. So I don't have the freedom of my hands to be able to be doing all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, thank you for that, Vera. And Orlando's donated £10. Thank you for that. Orlando, the message is a question from Ginny White. I paraphrase. Have you considered allowing any of your songs to be used in political campaigns? Songs like Running Blind or Percy Johnson. So thank you for that, Orlando. And probably not. I'm not one of these people that gets into politics too much. I'm not a big follower of politics. And I avoid talking about it on my channel because obviously it's massively subjective. And as I always say, in this world, whatever you believe, somebody else will believe the exact opposite, and they'll be going as far as you are willing to support their beliefs. So that is just a fact of life. So I don't really see any point in putting across strongly a point of view that is like an opinion and a belief that is just subjective, because somebody else's belief and their subjective opinion is just as valid. Both opinions are 100% valid, so you can't go anywhere from there. All you can do is just try and approach it calmly and find a middle ground. But this is the problem, that people, even politicians, can't address it in that way. They can't address it in something that is lacking emotion. They all get emotional. So that's why I just stay out of it. And I think sadly the whole system would need a whole reboot, because it's exactly the same here in the UK, that you get MPs, people kind of claiming money for things that they should no way be claiming them for, and then they get investigated. And then here in the UK we've had the whole post office scandal, which is putting innocent people in prison for years because there was a computer mistake, or it was something wrong with the computer software. And the post office, the employees, the post office, like the government, knew about it, but they tried to hide it because they thought, we're going to get in trouble here, so let's let the innocent people stay in prison. And some people then had to use life savings because it had shown on the software that apparently these people that were working for the post office were stealing money. So then the government said, you owe us £20,000 because you stole it. And they said, no, we didn't. And they said, well, the software said you stole it, so you owe us that money. Then the people have had to pay that money back. They've lost their houses, lost their livelihoods. Some people have died. I think there might have been cases of maybe at least one suicide because of this program was saying that these people are thieves. And they then went to court and they said, well, look, the software says that you are a thief, so you're going to prison. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. And now they're doing an investigation to find that, yes, it was an error with the software, and yes, the government knew about it. So what's the compensation for that? How do you give compensation to somebody who's now dead because of what has happened? So this is why I don't talk about politics and government and all that stuff, because you start talking about this kind of thing and you think, well, what is justice in that case? How do you get something that's going to... The family are never going to be happy with any settlement or anything because they've lost their family member to something that the government knew about and didn't admit to the public. So anyway, thank you for that. So in a word, no, I wouldn't allow my songs to be used on a political campaign. Thank you for this, Carol, a £7.66 donation, and the message is, hi Phil, I haven't played my guitar seriously in years, but I'd like to get back to it. Have you got advice to get flexibility back in my wrist and calluses back on my fingers with as less pain as possible? Thanks, Rock. So thank you for that, Carol. And always start out with or maintain the lightest strings that you can, whether you're playing acoustic guitar, electric guitar. So on acoustic guitar, you want to go for, I say 10 gauge. So look for those, probably Martin extra light strings. I would go for if you've got those. They used to be in a green packet, but I think now it's like a purple packet because they've done away with the cardboard sleeves. So yeah, look out for that. It might be a purple packet. Just look for tens or type it in to Google. You'll find it. It'll be Martin Extra Light tens, guitar strings. So yeah, you can type that in. You'll be able to find them. For electric guitar, you want to go again as light as you can. You can get 8s on electric guitar. Those are called, I think, in a kind of a luminous blue packet, Ernie Ball extra slinkies is what they're called, extra slinky strings. So those are 8s. You've got 9s, which again are considered light, but if you really don't want to have any pain in your fingers, just go as light as possible. So I'd recommend you go for 8s. But 9s are called super slinkies. So those are super slinky in a pink packet. And again, Ernie Ball, you can search for that on Google. But yeah, it's something that is going to make your guitar as playable as possible, and that's exactly what you want. So I'd just say, just pick your guitar up, even if it's just for 5 minutes every day. Just get those fingers used to playing it again, and you'll get that flexibility back. It's just about doing it regularly, and it's not even about doing it for multiple hours every day. When I first started out, I would literally just pick it up and try and remember the chords that I learned when I was 11 or 12, and kind of just strum the chords a few times for a few minutes. And if that's all I had time to do, then that's all I had time to do. So yeah, I then just make sure I picked up every day. But thank you for that, Carol. Right. There's been another donation. Dave has donated $10. Thank you for that, Dave. The message is, review suggestion, Brooks and Dunn, My Maria. So thank you for that, Dave. I will make a note of that. Right, we are going to be jumping. Oh, it's almost midnight here, and we have hit the lights goal for tonight. So thank you guys for that. We are going to be having a fill jam. How long is the fill jam's going to be 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Yes, I know the last one was long, but yeah, this is it, 133. So, right, we need to get into this cover video. It's going to be my version of Behind Blue Eyes, it looks like. Let me end the poll. 61% of the vote. Thank you guys for voting for that. So, let's jump into it. Oh, we haven't done Troll Corner. We might have to have a rollover of Troll Corner into Tuesday's live stream. If you can tune in on Tuesday, that'd be great as well, because we're going to be going for a new record. Even though tonight's a new record for a Saturday night live stream, we're going to be going for a new record on a Tuesday night as well on Tuesday. So if you can join me then as well, that would be great. 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, same place on Tuesday night. And we might have to get into Troll Corner then, because we might have a little bit more time for things. So let's jump into this, my version of Behind Blue Eyes by The Who, of course. And I'll see you guys after. Rock!
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours all lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never free.
And there we have it. That was my version of Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And the reason that I'm interrupting it is because, yeah, the fill jam for tonight is going to be almost 10 minutes. So it means that we need to jump into... We're going to do a Troll Corner, but there's quite a lot for Troll Corner. So I'm going to do a bit of Troll Corner tonight, and I'm going to do the rest of Troll Corner on Tuesday. So, yeah, for the ones that I don't get to, tune in on Tuesday night in order to see those. So, first of all, let's get into Picture Corner. Let's get that out of the way first. So, here we go. Right. Okay, I now need to actually find... Why has this changed? I need to find the picture for Troll Corner. I don't know why it's suddenly... Oh, there we go. Right, so the screen capture's just gone a little bit walkabout, which is a bit of a pain, but hopefully it'll appear on screen now. And I think the picture is a bit of a kind of weird pixel ratio. It's like a really tall picture. So anyway, this has come through on Facebook, so thank you for linking me to this one, Laura. And this comes in from Max. And the message is, or at least the message with the picture is... Max says, Judy Garland, absolutely awesome. So there you go. That's what was with the message. So thank you, Max, for uploading that picture. And thank you, Laura, for linking me to it. And that was Picture Corner for tonight. So, oh, and look. We've still got the picture, not in the corner anymore, but on my face. Right, so let's now get into Troll Corner. Right, so first of all, this was a message left, and I've had a couple like this, but this is just an example where somebody left a message on the Kelly Clarkson / Judy Garland video saying, and I'm going to read this, it says, I've just taken a little bit of the comment. It was a huge comment, but the little bit of it was, you attacked the quality of Kelly Clarkson's vocals and ergo her personal integrity. I smell a rat here called Wings of Pegasus. Reach out to NBC and the producer. And so to explain this, first of all, in that video, me attacking the quality of Kelly Clarkson's vocals, I say that she has a great voice. So this is why the person that requested it, I said, it probably isn't pitch corrected because she has a great voice. And I say that in the video. So I say she has a great voice. So that's not me attacking the quality of Kelly Clarkson's vocals. I'm pointing out pitch correction that it's been applied. And again, it's not a personal attack. And it's not me attacking her personal integrity. This is something that happens all the time. They think that because they've got a negative opinion of pitch correction, when somebody like me points it out that it has been used, they take offense at that because they think it's a negative thing. So now they put that negativity not at the producer who's doing it, but at me for pointing it out. So yeah, that happens all the time. And they said, you know, reach out to the producer, ask them whether they've used it or not. But of course, and this is something that, you know, we're looking at it, and what I'm doing is objective. Of course, somebody could say, oh no, we're not using it. But I know that they are using it, and this is why, and I said this in their comment, all of my videos that I've done, none of them have been contested. And think of the videos that we've done that have had hundreds of thousands of views, actually maybe close to 1 million, maybe even more than 1 million views on you know, the Freddie Mercury one where they pitch corrected Freddie Mercury's vocals. It's a huge video. You know, potentially millions of people have seen it, and somebody who knows about the production and was part of the team, they would have seen the video. But they don't contest it because they know what we're looking at, and I'm explaining what we're looking at, and they know how voices work, and they know what a pitch corrected vocal is. So yeah, I said this to that person that I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just stating what I'm seeing, and everything I've seen in the past for my hundreds worth of analysis videos and artists that I've looked at, none of them have been contested. The only thing that's happened is they have been confirmed by people who have worked on the record or the release that I might be looking at, or even the live performance, and they wanted to remain anonymous because they say, I was part of the crew here, and I said that it sounded mechanical and that they shouldn't be applying it, but they got shouted down. So I've had emails like that from people who have actually been working on the songs that I analyze and are telling people that it is pitch corrected or auto-tuned. So yeah, there we go. So the person say reach out to NBC, to get them to comment on it. I don't need to. They'll probably see the video, but there's no point because the producers will know that yes, they have pitch corrected it because it's an industry standard. So it's a standard thing that happens. It will be applied. So I said I'm more than happy for Kelly Clarkson to come into the studio and record a vocal, the exact same vocal, so that I can show the difference between the two, because there will be a difference. We know that. We've just recently done a video on Michael Jackson trying to sing the same thing 6 times, and he couldn't do it 6 times, and he couldn't match it, pitch-wise 6 times. And if somebody like Michael Jackson can't sing the same phrase in front of a microphone in a controlled setting, if he can't do it twice in a row, then it means that when you're hitting notes directly on lines all the time, it's just not possible for human vocal cords because they vibrate. And this is the thing that people don't have the technical knowledge, they don't realize and don't understand the physiology of how the vocal cords make sound, that it's impossible to make it be like a keyboard unless you are pitch correcting it. So anyway, that was one. Right, quick, move on to the next one. The usual kind of thing. Somebody said that this video is incorrect because when I was in the choir, I used to be able to hit the notes perfectly every time. I was pitch perfect, so you can sing on the lines. And then I said to the person, yeah, if you think you were singing on the lines back when you were in the choir, and this was somebody who talking about maybe 20 or 30 years ago, I said, if you had pitch monitoring software and you were singing into that, you would see that you're not on the lines. Great voices aren't on these lines. Pitch correction is on these lines. It's Melodyne. It shows you the notes and where to drag it. That's what it's being calibrated to. So that's why it's on these lines, because that's how Melodyne works. That's the default. And in order to now do it in more detail than that, you now have to kind of override the defaults. So you have to intentionally drag it into a more incorrect place. And it'll always go back to the same point. You think, well, why not just get a singer who can sing really well rather than trying to imitate a great singer by being slightly off? Because you're going to be editing that, ad infinitum, because you still won't get the connection. Because the connection has to be authentic and natural. And that's the only reason that we would connect to it in the first place. So anyway, this person said, thumbs down because of your failure to hear the difference between the natural voice and auto-tune. And this was on a video where the whole video I'm pointing out the difference between the natural voice and auto-tune. So this person's given me a thumbs down for the very thing I'm explaining in the video, that I'm pointing out the difference. So yeah, I just really didn't understand that on any level, really. So, right, that's like half of the Troll Corner for tonight. We're going to be doing Troll Corner again on Tuesday, where I'll do the other half and maybe any more that do pop up. But let's get into the Phil Jam. I'll see you guys in 6 seconds. So I've turned on the mic for the amp. Joe says, I'm thinking gem, some overdrive volume pedal swells has an end. Don't forget amp mic. Amp mic is on. Ooh, almost grabbed the wrong guitar. So it's going to be the gem for tonight. Oh, by the way, we had another donation. Jan donated 20 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And the message is Melodyne. Makes me feel melody dying. Sad, with a sad face. So thank you for that, Jan. And yeah, it is sadly just the level of editing that's going on. Right, let me get myself organised. There's going to be a long backing track. As for the levels, let me know, guys, in the live chat room as to what it sounds like. I need to click on the link first.
Build wealth.
And let me mute the advert. Wait for this to go through. Get the... all right, this is deep, spacey, atmospheric, melodic, rock backing track in E minor, and this is coming from YT Jam Tracks, and YT is in capital letters, obviously short for YouTube, but let me stop that. Okay, zoom. Let's zoom out. Why have I just lost the view? Oh, there we go. Right, red dude is on screen. We are zoomed out. We are ready to go. Let's have a listen to this. Let me know what it sounds like levels wise. We'll see what it's all about. Like it's okay. I'm kind of waiting for this to change. Oh. Turn up a little bit. It kind of sounds like it's going to change, but it's not. A bit of clean, see how that goes. Waiting for it to get heavy again. little bit carried away there. But it sounded like it was quite heavy. Let's go for a little bit of wah. When I was going for it, my guitar became louder than the track, so I'm not sure if that went. But it is what it is. That is the end. Oh, there we go. It was 8 minutes and something in the end, not quite 10 minutes. So there we have it. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like an interesting backing track, but yeah, as long as the levels are okay where you are, then yeah, that's great. But yeah, here, for some reason, my guitar was louder than the backing track, but then it wasn't louder than the backing track. So I don't know whether this is one of those backing tracks where the volume changes a little bit. But anyway, so whatever it was, and that's the thing about the fill jams. We just kind of see what happens, play along, and yeah. Certainly no double takes and pre-rehearsed things, auto-tune or pitch correction going on. It is what it is. It's just a bit of a live jam. But thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, to ensure that we have the fill jam at the end of the live stream. And if you're watching this on catch up, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. Really does help for this live stream to get out there, but also for the channel to grow on the whole. Right. So we are going to be here with another video tomorrow night, and I'm going to be live streaming Tuesday night for the second half of Troll Corner, so make sure you join me then, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time. As always, that's where I will be. Right, so all that's left for me to say is, first of all, thank you Orlando for that donation of $2, and it says I will be lurking until the end. See you Tuesday. So thank you for that. But yeah, other than that, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!